What up, everybody? This is Moses Johnson here on another episode of Prosperous Roots, and today I'm going to be talking about the detriments of marijuana. Marijuana is a stimulant, it is a gateway drug, and it comes from the hemp plant. When you smoke marijuana, THC, its chief ingredient, also known as tetrahydrocannabinol, it gets into your lungs, then it goes to your bloodstream, and then it is picked up by two cannabinoid receptors known as CB1 and CB2. This leads to pain release, increased heart rate, and it also leads to red eyes. These receptors then take cannabis to the brain, and this leads to shallow breathing, increased appetite, and forgetfulness. So that right off the bat, as you can see, marijuana is very detrimental internally for your health. It might not lead to death, but it's very detrimental to your brain. The myelin sheath, a fatty substance that protects the nerve fibers to help your neurons communicate electrically. Marijuana, when smoking that, it actually breaks down the myelin sheath, and the nerve electrical impulses and communication is slowed down. That's why it's a lot of forgetfulness, and that can be very harmful for your brain. Short-term memory. That right there off the bat. Think of your myelin sheath as your phone charger. You know how your cord has that outer layer? Think of that when that gets bent up, it's hard for that electrical impulse, to let you know that your battery is charging. So your myelin sheath is like, I always like to think of it as your charger, the outside layer of your cord to your charger. So also, as we said, it increases appetite. So this leads to munchies. People who smoke weed, they refer to the term as I got the munchies. Munchies leads to excess eating. Excess eating means you're filling your body up with toxins. Toxins lead to disease. So, eating at late hours of the night, getting high, sitting around, that's very detrimental to your health. So, even though smoking weed may not lead to death, you're still, allowing your body to be invaded by toxins, just putting any type of food in your body. It leads to dry mouth, cotton mouth. A lot of people who smoke weed, they tend to have this, euphoric feeling, and they also tend to be lazy. Not saying everyone is, but, you tend to, just let life pass on by. And so, that's why it can be detrimental. If you want to do marijuana, it's best to be used in a tea or an extract form, but smoking it, think about it. 1 + 1 is 2. When you put smoke in your lungs, you cough. This is a respiratory problem here. So, intaking this air along with this smoke, your body has a natural reaction to cough, and that leads to respiratory problems. You can't run a mile, you're wheezing and stuff like that. So, right off the bat, marijuana is not as, smoking it's not as good as it's supposed to be cracked up to be. No pun intended. It is a gateway drug, so people who do marijuana are more prone to, to do heroin or cocaine or opium, all of those other things, drink alcohol. So it's a gateway drug, and that's a proven fact. I'm not saying you're going to be doing extra drugs, but just keep that in mind that it is a gateway drug. Marijuana. A lot of people, I had to cover this topic. Even though by law some of it says it's a drug, some of it says, it's still considered a plant. But the way that we use it when it's isolated out of that plant and it's concentrated, you have to understand that this now is a drug. It's taken out of its natural environment and it's concentrated. It is lit on fire, in tobacco, in a tobacco wrapper. So you're still ingesting tobacco as well if you smoke it in certain wrappers. So, stay away from marijuana. As we all know, everything is good in moderation. So I'm not knocking it if you do it, but just understand that it is detriments. Although it may not lead to death, you would definitely have issues internally. It affecting your brain, impairing your judgment, having you to forget certain things. So right there off the bat, we know, marijuana is not all that good as it's cracked up to be. So that's all I got today, family. Hopefully you make wise decisions. Don't let anyone, encourage you to smoke. If you're going to smoke, let that be your thing. And you should do it for, a lot of people who smoked, they did it for artistic reasons. I'm looking at some of the origins of smoking. They did it to get into art, but a lot of us, we smoke to take the ease off of society, and just to get away from the harsh reality. But a lot of folks, they smoke to increase their artistic abilities, because smoking marijuana, it heightens the right hemisphere of your brain, the side that's responsible for art and creativity. So it has some benefits, but it also has some detriments. So be aware of the detriments of marijuana. And that's all I got today, family, and peace.